prevention program.
It's time now for WBLJ News Talk 1230's Topic, a public affairs presentation brought to you by Thomas Exterminating Company. And now, here's Jane Harrell.
We're delighted to have Lisa Bragg back. Lisa was with us not too long ago, and she was talking about a book that she had written, and we kind of wanted to do an update and find out what's going on with the book. What's happened since we talked to you?
Okay, I've had a book signing in Somerville, and I have a book, my book in Somerville in a bookstore, and then I have it in Rome at Bookland, and I had a book signing over there and was on the radio over there, and then I have my book now over here in Walnut Square's bookstore now, so I managed to get in the bookstore like you suggested.
So I'm so glad. And what's been the response?
I don't think a lot of people really realize what it's about. I've been hanging, flyers up around town about it and everything, and, I noticed, they have sold, I think, maybe about 5 of them that they bought. Yeah, and I'm not complaining. I'm thankful for that. But I think my title might be a little bit misleading. A lot of people don't understand why I wrote I named it what I did.
And the title is?
Living in Sin. But I understood my reasons when I was writing it, but it didn't dawn on me that a lot of people would not. I wrote it because it was one of my favorite songs that Bon Jovi sung. And it just, to me, it made sense and it fit, but a lot of people are getting offended about it, and I'm just trying to.
And what is the subject matter of the book?
Okay, it's about a teenage pregnancy. It's really basically about teenagers, and one of my characters go through a teenage pregnancy, but it's also focused on a lot of different things. I mean, I've had parents that read my book, and they told me that it gives them an insight to what their teens are going through, and it makes the parents aware of things that they didn't think that teens are facing these days, like pressures from friends at school and stuff like that. And at the time of me writing it, my focus really was teen pregnancy, but it seems like I guess because God knew what He wanted me to use my book for, I put all this different stuff in there, which was basically all the stuff that I faced as a teenager, and I felt that teenagers are still facing the same things. I believe they're facing a lot more now, though. A lot more than when I was a teenager. But they're facing the same things.
Did you have a friend that got pregnant as a teenager? Did you see it firsthand?
No, not a friend. I never had a friend that got pregnant as a teenager, and I didn't have a teenage pregnancy. But I've volunteered down at the Dalton Pregnancy Center, and I've ran across it, and I kind of know what them teens faced and how their parents reacted to it, and because they, I didn't take anybody's story and put it in my book. I just based it on, things that happen, I mean, I didn't have a teenage pregnancy, but I have broken hearts that teenagers have. Yeah. So I can relate to that, and that's what, and feelings, the teenage feelings. I mean, I had all of them, so it was really easy to relate to that.
Now, do you write about alcohol and drug abuse? Is that in your book also?
Yes. One of my characters, she goes to a party, and someone spikes her drink, and I'm not going to tell you what happened because you won't want to read it, but someone spikes her drink, so she is faced with that, and then she did have pressures to drink from one of her, friends, but she refused to. So I did put the pressures in there. I made it as real as possible as I could.
What are some of the other problems that your characters face? We don't have to know all details or how it comes out, because we do want folks to get the book. But
okay.
What would be something else that one of your characters face that teenagers do face in real life?
Okay. The most thing is being accepted by their friends. You're not going to be cool if you don't go along with what we're saying and what we're doing, and trying to live up to sometimes the standards that parents put on their kids. I'm not saying, it's good to really be involved with your kids and everything, but, at the same time, you don't want to push them and make them feel like this is something they have to do. Like one of the character that does have a teenage pregnancy, it's like she had it all planned out. This is what she's going to do, and everybody in her family didn't expect that she'd be the sister that would do that, because they all thought, well, this is what Candy's going to do. You know, Candy's going to finish school, Candy's going to go away to this big college, have this big career, and marry, and then have children. You know, they had a picture perfect out, and I think it's good to set goals for your kids and put that into them, but at the same time, don't put stress on them. Don't put it so hard, you know, so much stress on kids. You know, sometimes I think parents can do that, and I only have a 6-year-old, so I'm not an expert, you know, like on teens or nothing, but I know the pressures that my parents put on me. You know, so
I guess that of course, we were all teenagers, and we forget how hard it is being a teenager. Now, when is your book signing going to be here in Dalton?
Okay, it's going to be on the 23rd, and it's going to be at Brookland over here at Walnut Square Mall, and it's probably going to start around 1 o'clock. And whenever anybody quits coming, I guess.
Okay, when the crowd thins out.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that folks will stop by and meet Lisa, because she's a very enthusiastic, very nice young lady, and I read books all the time. And I admire anyone, and I'm envious of anyone who can write a book.
Okay, and another thing is, I want to say, if you see my book in the bookstore, you know, pick it up and just give it a chance, because I feel like, you know, everybody, you know, they had to pick it up. The ones who have read it and bought it, you know, from me, they picked it up and they gave it a chance, and they found something in there that they could relate to, and I really feel like you can. And you know, I didn't mean to offend anybody with my title. It was just something personal to me.
But
give it a chance.
It's a good title, and of course it is Living in Sin, and it's by Lisa Faith Bragg, and she will be at Brookland in Walnut Square Mall on the 23rd. We're starting around 1 o'clock, so stop by and meet her and buy one of her books.
Yeah.
How much are they?
The $10.54 they're selling them for.
$10.54. And thanks for coming back.
Okay,
we'll
thank
see you again real soon.
All right, bye-bye.